I'm going to show you the basics of speed reading, how to read faster. This is a very, very useful technique for language learning, as well as for studying anything, really. But it's extremely useful for language learning because it will allow you to review a lot of text, a lot of sentences, a lot of words that you've been learning. I don't recommend doing this with new materials that you are learning because you will probably forget a lot. Reading fast is one thing, retention is another thing. And if you get really good at it, you can read really fast and still remember it. But if you just started using these techniques, it's better to use it only to review what you've already studied more thoroughly before. So again, really useful, but only for reviewing. That's what I recommend. So how do we do it? Pretty simple. Instead of There are two main things that we need to change. When we learn to read, we just use a finger and we go like, we stayed home for the weekend. And we pretty much learn the same way for the rest of our lives. We just get better at it, but we tend to like read in lines. And we also often, and this is not necessarily a bad thing for language learning, but we tend to kind of say the words in our minds. Like we kind of we subvocalize it. We hear the words, or like we saying we're not saying it aloud, but we are like in our minds. We're like, I would be upset by this attitude, and we are like thinking of this, thinking of what the sentence sounds like. And this is not a bad thing for language learning, but it really slows you down if you do it like that because you can read way faster than you can speak. So yeah, if you read aloud a lot, that's good for language learning. And if you think of this of the words aloud, it's good. Not think of the words aloud. Sorry. If you think of how the sentence sounds when you're reading it, like if you are hearing it in your mind, it's good as long as you're also doing some listening practice. Otherwise, you learn the wrong pronunciation. But it's good that if you do that. But if you want to review a lot of text quickly, it's detrimental because it's slowing you down a lot. You could read way faster than that. So what you need to learn first is to open your vision, open your how to explain this. Basically, you need to, instead of reading one word at a time, you need to use your peripheral vision, and you need to just by looking at this at the middle of the sentence, see the whole sentence in one go. Instead of doing this, you take a picture of the sentence. So when I look at this, I can look at upset, and without my eyes needing to come here and then doing this, going like this, just by looking, I can keep my eyes here, like keep looking at this, just stare at upset, and read the whole thing. Not like that, but just like in one, like a block. I can do this um, without moving my eyes. Just look at upset, but I see the whole sentence. This is difficult in the beginning, so I recommend you start trying to do that. You can first, okay, you can read a word first. Let's say, uh, try to see be and by, be upset by. Just see, look at upset and just try to see this, and then you look at, let's say, be, and you try to say I would be disappointed. Everything the same. Don't do this. Just look at this and try to like your eyes there, but instead of doing this, you keep looking here, um, but you see this and then this and then this. Yeah, does it make sense? Um, so yeah, would be upset and then slowly, well, be upset by, and then once you're able to, like, okay, you look at tired, but you try to just read the whole thing while your eyes been not moving from here, from the middle of tired. Once you're able to do that, like you just keep doing that. So look at upset. Maybe this is too long, but look at this, and you see the whole thing. Keep doing that, and this will take some practice, right? But then get tired after work, and then finally, instead of 3 words, you try to do it with 5 words. You get tired, and you see the whole thing, and you don't. They get tired after. No, you don't hear the words. You just stare at it in silence, looking at the middle here, and you're able to recognize all the words without hearing, without subvocalizing, without hearing the words in your mind, like saying the words in your mind, and without your eyes doing this. Your eyes stay here. You need to get there, right? Uh, Again, it's not easy. You need some practice, and then when you've got text like this with in two languages to review, once you learn to do this, the way you should review this is you look at the middle here, so you understand the whole sentence, and then you jump here and you get this word, and while looking at this word, you read the whole thing again without doing this. Just look at the middle and you see everything, and then you jump to the next one. Look at this, and then you jump here. Look at this. Your eyes should not move from here. Yeah, your eyes should go from here to here to here. So you see the whole sentence in one go, like 1 second of one like, uh, screenshot of the whole sentence, then another screenshot looking at the middle of the whole sentence without subvocalization, without moving your eyes. Just your eyes should only move, jump from an imaginary dot or line in the middle of the sentence to the next, and then like that. Yeah. Again, do this for reviewing, and it will not be easy in the beginning. Don't do it with sentences that you haven't seen before. Listen to the sentences while reading the first time and shadow them. Do all of that before, so then you can review a lot of them fast by just doing this. You can go as fast as this. I mean, normally I don't do it with the mouse. I just do it with my eyes only. This is how fast you can go. It doesn't mean that I know absolutely everything and that I'd be able to use all these sentences in speaking correctly, but it's a fast way to. It's a very efficient way to get a lot of reviewing. And if you're reviewing the same sentences over and over, that's a lot of reps you get in, and eventually you'll learn all the vocab and grammar fast. Especially if you combine this with memorization of vocabulary with mnemonics that I've explained in other videos. And again, to go fast like that, if you go fast like that when you start learning this technique, you won't be able to do it. This is a skill that you need to practice. So what I recommend is using a metronome. You can get a metronome. Normally they use for music, so it's like tick tick tick, or you like tick 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 tick, and it's for rhythm, right? So you put one of those on, and you use it like tick tick, 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 and you take screenshots following, well, with the metronome's rhythm, and then you, once you're comfortable with that, once it gets easy, then you make it a little bit faster, then a little bit more, a little bit faster, and you keep doing that. Uh, won't remember everything, like I said, but if you do this with everything you want to learn, you can read a lot of text like this, and if you get decent at this, you can read books super fast. Um, Again, if you're not familiar with the book at all, you probably won't remember much. But if you, again, if you've been working on other memory techniques, yeah, you can read books super fast with this as well. But for reviewing content that you've already learned, or you've not learned, it doesn't mean that you know it, but that you need to review it, right? You've studied before, you've been repeating the sentences aloud, you've listened to it. For reviewing that kind of text, this is extremely effective. So I highly recommend you do this.